So actually, I want to point that out as well, because we've been talking about spirituality, right? And I want to point out that, like, these religious texts and whatnot, I have a very secular political view, right? That's me. But I'm not discounting that all these possible books have interesting ethical questions within them and ideas within them, right? So when I'm saying I don't believe in magic, that's about the world view, right? I don't believe that I am created by any sort of god or something like that. I don't believe in Santa Claus and stuff like that. But still, I feel like the golden rule, for example, it exists in many of the religious texts, right? Treat others as you yourself would like to be treated, something like that. I find that it is an interesting ethical discussion to have around that, and what equivalent means. Like, how should you treat people exactly how you want to be treated, or an equivalence of how you would want to be treated? Like that discussion I find super interesting, and I feel like the religious text themselves has value and has brought value with them in those discussions, right? Just like I feel that the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy has interesting ethical discussions in it. I'm not saying that something like that against spirituality, if that makes sense. So I see them like the metaphor. I like the metaphor. You can use metaphor. Like I really like fantasy books, for example. I read a lot of fantasy books as a teenager. And all the metaphors, all the magic in those can be used to metaphors to, well, not all of them are not talking about, but you can talk about ethics by taking different views. It's the whole point of thought experiments, right? It's not real, but it can teach you something. Yeah, you can know. Well, they don't teach you so, but you can learn something from them, if that makes sense. I'll get in on tap. Continued. All right. So that is. I wanted to just point that out from the previous discussion. And the same, like with math and set theory and all this. I mean, they are abstractions and ideas, and I find them super useful, right? Colgate in on tap said Euclid himself said he didn't like parallel postulate and tried to construct it from other axioms. Yeah. But little did he know that those efforts were futile. Yeah, it's like... I've seen on the internet that Einstein tried to say that quantum mechanics weren't real, that God does not play dice, something like that, right? He rejected bits of that, right? And little did he know that those efforts were futile. But that's the way it works. Right? Hey, Suj says religion definitely advertises altruism. Some religions do, I suppose. Not all of them. Wait, what is altruism again? Fuck. I forget that. Altruism, is it just being nice to other people? I like Wikipedia, so let's... Altruism is the principle of and moral practice of concern for happiness of other human beings or animals, resulting in a quality of life, both material and spiritual. Right, it's just about thinking about other people. I mean... almost every code of ethics is altruistic. Well, not all of them, but a lot of them are going towards altruism, right? Adventure 95 says, but altruism does not root its origin from religions. No, right? Huh? No, but it advertises it, says hey, he's huge. Yeah, exactly. And that could be a good thing, right? But altruism is super fucking vague, isn't it? I mean, altruism is just saying that, oh, we should care about other people and animals. Well, I'm getting like not all religions go for animals even. They just go for human beings. Not necessarily. I mean, I don't even think that fuck, my religious knowledge on this question is not strong enough, but I think that the reason for following along the Bible is to end up in heaven, not in hell. That is not in concern for other human beings. I've seen a lot of religious people just arguing that point, right? It's about concern for ending up in heaven. That is not in concern for the other human being, is it? So, some religious people, and I'm guessing most religious people, argue for altruism, but I'm guessing there are plenty of religions and religious organizations that do not advocate altruism. That is not what they're doing. Right, for the example I gave earlier, right? Well, either of the examples. Like, oh, you are not allowed to have sex. Is that concerning the happiness of the other human beings? Like, instead of bringing a lot of condoms, that's not in concern for the happiness. They're trying to restrict happiness from one point of view, right? And what else? What was the other example I had? It doesn't matter, but you can see my point that you could go either way. Altruism is so fucking vague. Jesus said, "Help for the sake of helping." Right. That's one issue with the Bible, right? You go with the first. Wait, or it's two books, right? And they are completely different, say completely different things. Adventure 95 says, anyone who acts altruistically is advertising altruism? Are they? How does that make sense? About anonymous donations to whatever. Nope. Yeah, it's not about you then. It's an advertisement, right? It's about being a good role model, I suppose. It might not be the intent to advertise, but it is what's happening, right? Math is like that. It says Colgate on tap. Can't say whether someone is true until it is proven. Yeah. So whoever tries to prove or disprove conjecture can end up trying to do something futile. Futile efforts. Actually, I would disagree now. I actually want to take back my earlier statement. It is not futile. It is not at all futile. It is it's the foundational work, right? If you don't know, then put in the work. And then the work, you have learned that, right? Either you prove it or you disproved it. It doesn't matter. The result is a result. And that is the result we're looking for. That is the whole point, right? That we need to do the work. We need to do the work. If we don't do the work, we're just believing in magic. Jesus as in the person, not the cuss. Yeah. That's the way I read it. But good looking out, pointing out that Jesus said help for the sake of helping. That is as far as I understand it as well. As far as I've heard about Jesus is that in that book he said help for the sake of helping. And that's altruism, right? Colgate In on Tap points out that the Bible is more like 70-ish short books. Right. The Jesus character in probably most of the books was altruistic and in his ideologies, in his ideas. And I mean, I like altruism, but I'm also interested in non-altruistic, what are they called? Non-altruistic philosophies and morals. Oh, blah, not again. Oh, we got a glass bottle of pickled cucumbers. Well, I really like pickled cucumbers, though. Alright. His mind is... Holy crap, my mind is totally blown. You're pretty easily impressed. Colgate In on Tap says, if you try to prove something that is false, you're obviously going to fail. Well, you don't know that before, right? You don't know. It's not obvious before you have proven it to be false, right? If you try to prove something that is false, you don't know that beforehand. So it's not obvious. It is not at all obvious that you're going to fail. After you have failed, then you gain the understanding. When you've failed enough to satisfy your own curiosity and others. So it is not futile. Like, it is... Even if most of the people at that time, at Euclid's time, were convinced, right? Even though if he was not convinced, then the evidence was not enough. So he did the work to prove it even further. Right? So it was not futile, not at all. Sharing that failure would help others who try to tackle the same problem. Yeah, exactly. But unfortunately, mathematical community doesn't do that. Of course it does. Of course you share. I mean, we've read about maths on Wikipedia, right? And if they don't share, I mean, that's fine. Then they're not part of the science community and the mathematical community, right? Well, yeah, right? You said that the mathematical community doesn't do that. But if there is a community, they have to share some things. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a community, would it? Colgate In on Tap says, you don't get understanding. Failing at proving something doesn't disprove it. Yeah, right? Let's see here. We can put that into... Yeah, you failed to get evidence. Right? That doesn't prove anything. Yes, I agree with that. However, failing... well, we're not trying to prove something, right? The methodology is trying to disprove stuff. Failing to disprove something over and over and over and over leads to the thing being, being valid until it isn't anymore. Only math that leads to something new, some new knowledge gets published. Yeah. And that is, yeah, I can see that, and that is an issue, right? That is an issue of the structure of. All right, yeah, that's a flaw within the mathematical community. It's the same within science, right? Science, where it's like, oh, we don't know. A lot of it gets published, but not enough. Not enough, because that, as I said, it has value. It does have value. And it's increasing the body of knowledge within math and science. Various books with smudged titles. Yeah, of course we don't know the titles. I mean, one could argue that it's not equally important, and sure, it's not equally important to publish, but doing the work. Oh. What's this? Weird. Colgate in on tab says, unlike in movies, in real life mathematicians don't succeed in solving problems on first try. Yeah. And do lots of work that leads to nothing. Exactly. And all that work is valuable, right? That's what I'm saying. All that work has value. Because if you didn't use that methodology that you are actually using, that in the end, I mean, it pays off eventually, right? The methodology pays off eventually. That is why, I mean, that is why we have the world we have today, right? Because the methodology pays off eventually. There's a lot of dead ends that you have to try. Colgate on tap says it is valuable for you, but if it was properly shared, it could be useful even after your death. I mean, and it does get shared in a way, right? When you teach someone new maths, for example, that is the full reason why the stuff that leads somewhere gets published, right? Because that is new teachings, new learnings. We've learned, there's new knowledge to be gained. You teach the knowledge that you have. So then in the classroom, one could from the mistake that they have gone through already, like not redoing all that work. Like if you know the correct answer, then you as a teacher can see, oh, I can identify the mistake that was made by virtue of having the answer, right? It's way easier to identify. Isn't that, wait, I don't know this, but isn't that similar to the P versus NP problem, right? When you have the answer, it's way easier to spot the mistake. Right? If you're studying maths, you have your answers in the back of the book, and you can look at what was the correct answer, and then you can look at your answer. It's easier to find the mistake you made because you know where you're going with it, right? So I get your point that it's like the stuff that doesn't lead anywhere, it could be a good and useful read, but I also see why people don't publish it, because it is more the work that is valuable rather than the results of that work. If that makes sense. Dr. Rosalind says, well, to be fair, a ticking clock is pretty annoying indeed. It is. Very annoying indeed. Is it the football? Oh, soccer ball, sorry to you Americans. Colgate in on tap points out that that is not what P equals NP problem is about. Alright. Yeah, as I said, not a mathematician. It is whether deterministic Turing machines and non-deterministic Turing machines can solve the same problems in a polynomial time. Deterministic Turing machines and non-deterministic Turing machines. Oh man, not those again. Non-deterministic Turing machines. Right, we were talking about... Actually, I don't remember what happened in here. Fuck, I was just leaving when we joined here. The kid was here and they were talking about something. I don't remember. Oh, right. This is his grandma giving him the Johnny. They for some reason did not like the Johnny nickname for John. That was pretty much all that happened here, I think. We were talking about... Oh, wait. 6. We were talking about set theory yesterday. I'm trying to remember. So a set was generated. It's a collection of things that gets generated by some sort of rule or guideline. Like you can have all black and white things. And then there will be a football within that set. Right. And what was that? A class is a collection of sets that has similar properties. Like a class could be all sets that has colors. That could be a class. Is that everything I learned yesterday? And it felt like I was looking into that for so long just to understand those little bits. And I don't know how to solve this. I mean, I feel like almost always when it is this confusing, you almost always have been using this, right? Because then I can use this and I can use this, and it's solved. Like, you only have one of the edges, and it's always when it looks, oh, this looks confusing. You can probably just assume that this sideways thing is gonna be used. Simple puzzling. There is also, Colgate-Tab says that there is also a class of all sets. It is really big. I can imagine, because all sets, that's infinite, right? Ah, it smells like roadkill again. Where are we? Eva? What the hell is that? And what is this? What is this? What's going on? I like the music. That's his next memory. Yeah, but why is it going Laputa on us? I don't know. It's just not linking the memories together for construction. Oh? Something exciting is happening now, eh? Colgate-Tab says there are plenty of infinite sets as well, yeah? But a class of all sets is really big infinity. Yeah, you got many infinities within one infinity, which is super infinity. Nice. Dr. Rosling says, I don't know, yeah, it's not linking. Oh, right? His answer when we asked Johnny, why do you want to go to the moon? His answer was, I don't know. And he insisted that he didn't know, but he still wanted to go. So there, is that it? Are we going all Freud about the suppressed memory here? Is that what's happening? There must be a malfunction within the machine's ADG. Again? I thought the last fix was foolproof for another half a year. Colgate InnoTab says, you have those in sets as well. Wait. Infinities of infinities? Yeah, I get that. You have those in sets as well, but proper classes are even bigger. Yeah, of course, since classes are like a class, you can take a class that are all sets that are infinite. So you have sets that are infinite, and within the sets you can have all infinite sets. But the class becomes even bigger. Oh man, I can't wrap my head around that. Nobody can. The numbers become too big. I can't believe those idiots in the maintenance department. Look, don't worry, we've already gotten to the teenage years saved. We might still be able to do this. Alright. But I ain't telling him about this. As long as we succeed, he doesn't have to know. Oh, what is happening? Well, I guess this is it. There's nothing we can do here. Ready to finalize before activation? Ladies first. Wait. What a shame. I was actually looking forward to it. Act 2. Billions of lighthouses stuck at the far end of the sky. Big fucking numbers again. The doctor says, don't disturb them. Colgate InnoTab said, some mathematicians argue that higher cardinalities of infinities are not bigger infinities, but more chaotic infinities. I don't know that word. Cardinalities? That's something I need to look up. Cardinals, right? Cardinals. Cardinal? Not a church, no, math. Cardinal number. I'm guessing that is what we're talking about, right? Cardinal number, or cardinals for short, are generalizations of the natural numbers. Wait. To measure the cardinality size of sets. Alright, so a cardinal number is a generalization of the natural number, and a natural number is... Wait, natural numbers are just 1 and above, right? There's no minus, there's no decimals. That are the natural numbers, right? They cancelled Pepe Le Pew. Wait, what is Pepe Le Pew and why did someone cancel it? Oh, natural number 0. Yeah, right. There is 0, but there's nothing below and there's no decimals, right? Pepe Le Pew. Is this Pepe Le Pew, alright? An animated character from Warner Bros. The Looney Tunes and Merry Melodies. Pepe Le Pew was cut from Space Jam 2. His co-star wants the footage. Right. Pepe Le Pew called out for perpetuating rape culture. Alright, so... I thought Pepe was a frog, but there is a Pepe Le Pew as well, it seems like. And somehow somebody felt that it was perpetuating rape culture, and therefore they cut him from Space Jam 2. Alright, I guess. I wasn't really planning on watching the movie personally. Who knows? Maybe it'll be good, maybe it'll be bad. Cancelled. Oh, cancel culture. People going mad. And it's so weird in art. That is so weird, yeah, in art. Cancel someone's art? I mean, art is art, right? That is subjective how one feels. Colgatino tabs is natural numbers is non-negative integers. Yes, exactly, right? And cardinal numbers are generalizations of the natural numbers used to measure the cardinality. Alright, so cardinality. The cardinality of a set is a measure of the number of elements of the set. So, alright, so Colgatino tab said, some mathematicians argue that higher cardinalities of infinities are not bigger infinities. They are but more chaotic infinities. That goes way over my head. I guess so. That probably is fine. Infinity is a difficult concept, isn't it? I mean, there's some things, like when you watch old TV, some things have not aged very well. Like some... how do we put it? But that's like... That's more entertainment value. So I'm probably not talking, we're probably not talking about art here. We're probably talking about entertainment value. I'm guessing. Because some entertainment value gets lost, right? Like we saw, yeah. Where did we see that? Somewhere, someone made fun of someone. Oh, yeah, I think it was here. Like, she, the doctor, like called him a woman. The other doctor, the male woman. She called him a female. And that was supposed to be funny, right? He was bad at something and therefore she called him a female. And that doesn't age very well, does it? That didn't age very well. So is that type of entertainment value? Since they were talking about rape culture. I don't fucking know what rape culture, perpetuating rape culture is. I don't even know what that is. I mean, well, I know that there are cultures where rape is okay, I guess. I haven't grown up in one of those myself, right? It's like in Sweden. I don't know if yeah, I've told you plenty of times. I worked within the prison system for a while, right, as a teacher. And within the Swedish prison system, they have to separate the rapists from everybody else. Because the rapists will get either... Well, they need to be either... Well, either they get the shit kicked out of them, or they just get killed. Like, but we don't really have big rape culture thing in Sweden, I don't think. Blasphemous says there needs to be consistency. Within what? I'm curious. Consistency? There needs to be consistency. I think I'm misunderstanding the context. Cancel culture? Wait, is cancel culture about how... I don't know if I agree with that. Like, cancel culture is more about people having their opinions, right? And someone else does not adhere to those opinions. And then we cancel those people, right? Wait. If they wanted to cancel Pepe Le Pew, I can come up with a bunch of other cartoons that needs to be cancelled also. Oh. Well, personally, I'm not such a big fan of the cancel culturation thing. Like, I'm not a big fan of this. So, if they have consistency or not doesn't... I mean, if they are consistent or not, I mean, I disagree with the... the behavior either way, right? So for me, it's like, I don't see there needs to be consistency as an argument. I see cancel culture is based on emotional reactions, right? It's super emotional, and I mean, it's based on people's emotional reaction to this thing, right? And some people get the feeling that this is part of whatever rape culture is. Right, I'm guessing rape culture is also probably a hyperbole. Hyperbole? Is that what it's called? Hyperbole. I think that is how you pronounce it, right? It's probably about sexism, right? That this character is super fucking sexist, I guess. Quagmire from Family Guy is real rapey. Yeah, he's kind of rapey, isn't he? I suppose I haven't watched a lot of Family Guy, but yeah, it's kind of... we got that other dude. That old dude is super fucking rapey, right? The one who follows the kid around and has the creepy voice with the stick, right? That dude is super fucking rapey. But then again, I could also see why they would not see that as perpetuating rape culture. I mean, Quagmire is not really a likable character, is he? He's not portrayed as a likable character in that sense. Probably like this character is portrayed as. We're being portrayed as a likable character. But I mean, if they wanted to change things, don't cut him out, just make the character unlikable, and I don't think that would be a problem, maybe. I don't know. Colgate on Tab says, just cancel everything, easy. Exactly, that's the problem I have with cancel culture. Like, yeah, cancel everything. Like, I get triggered by religious ideas, so no more religious people in art, in entertainment. I mean, it doesn't check out. Just cancel everything, right? Alright, so hyperbolic ultra parallel lines, says Colgate on Tap. I have no idea what that is. Like, hyperbolic, we have talked about that before. Hyperbolic, it's just... Hyperbodula, hyperbola, adjective form of hyperbolic. It's a type of smooth curve. Yeah, like it's curved planes. That's what it's like, right? And ultra parallel lines. Why? Oh man. Oh, actually, that gives me an idea. I'll get in on tap. Gets triggered by this. Right. Wait, where did it go? Let's go again. Bourgeoisie. Bourgeoisie? But this is what you meant, right? I mean, misspelling this is as difficult as pronouncing it, right? Bourgeoisie. Here we go. It gets triggered by these bourgeoisie. I've been a little bit bourgeoisies, I guess. And it's defined a social class, especially in contemporary times, referring to people with a certain cultural and financial well, I don't have that. And well, I'm not a snob either. It's just a fancy French word for snob, isn't it? Belonging to the middle. Oh, it is the middle. I am middle class, yes. Belonging to the middle or upper class. Which are collectively an affluent and often opulent stratum. Well, I'm not opulent. Yeah. I can find I don't get triggered by opulence though. I can find it enjoyable. And I find opulence ironic. What is affluent again? Outspoken, right? Opulent is showing off wealth, and affluent is just outspoken, I think. Wait, what? Affluent is just wealth. Oh. Alright. So, they are wealthy, and they're showing off their wealth. There we go. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of silly. So I find it kind of funny, I suppose. Blasphemous says, if you can convince people that it is okay to cancel something without thinking as to why other similar things are also not being cancelled, you have won. Well, it depends on your intentions. Like, from my view, you have lost political power within whatever context you have managed to do this. Convince someone that it's okay to cancel something without thinking about it and making comparisons to similar things. Like, I would probably agree that if, I mean, I don't like canceling stuff in general like that. But, I mean, I would say that you have lost from my perspective because, well, I like discussing things. I like political discussions about things. And convincing people not to partake in political discussions is a loss for me. I don't know. Colgatino tab says the letter's wrong. Oh, right. You were pretty close. Yeah, it was... I mean, I won't ever be able to spell that word. Bourgeoisies. If I'm even able to pronounce it, I will never be able to spell it correctly. And you were only 2 letters off, yeah. That feeling when you typo your minor flex about spelling something almost correctly. Oh man, I didn't even notice that flex. So that fell flat, that flex. I don't know if anybody else noticed it either. Blasphemy, yes, we have lost, but they have won. Some of them, perhaps. Maybe. Maybe. I think you could make an argument or an interpretation that people wanting to cancel... I mean, look at their emotions, right? They call that thing rape culture. That would imply that there is this character, what they saw from this character would have been part of encouraging rape. Like teaching, it's a kids movie, right? It would teach kids to rape, that rape was a good thing. That is their perspective, right? So their primary goal would be not to teach the kids how to rape. And they would probably, if you took that, like if you made some comparison, like between Quagmire, for example. And I mean, I don't know any of these characters well enough, so let's assume that they are similar enough that Quagmire also encourages rape. Then these people would probably be consistent and say, yes, I agree, let's get the Quagmire the fuck out of here, if that is their worldview, right? Right? I'm pretty sure that they would be consistent in that regard. I don't see why they wouldn't be. That doesn't make any sense to me that those would not be consistent in that sense. Who are they? Asks Colgate Inotap. The bourgeoisie's left. Right? No, it's the emotional cancel culture people we're talking about. Those are they, right? Those that want to control what is acceptable. Well, I mean, I could probably get behind trying to teach children that, well, teach is not the wrong word. I would probably agree on the point that what is considered acceptable, what I consider acceptable, that rape is not one of those things. I would want to see less rape within society. I would probably agree with them, and I guess you would too, Blasphemous, right? And I mean, everybody who has everybody has ideas, right? Wanting to say something is acceptable or not acceptable. Like, I would want to see less cancel culture in society. And if I had any opportunities to make changes towards that, I would probably make those moves. Like, that's probably trying to control what is acceptable, I suppose. Well, I don't subscribe to that word anymore, I don't think. Blasphemous says there is hypocrisy everywhere if you look for it. Yeah, exactly. And I don't look for it anymore. You remember we did the distinction between your ethics, your politics, and your actual behaviors, right? And your emotional reactions to things. And if we make that distinction, I'm not sure there is any hypocrisy. If we take that worldview and accept that the world works like that, then I don't think hypocrisy works out as a descriptor in that sense. I'm not sure. It's new worldview for me. It's new ideas that I'm still internalizing. Colgate Innotab says, I am an admin on a Discord servers where plebs complain about PogChamp guy having hot takes. But they are fine with Stalin emojis. Yeah, right? It's fine. Blasphemous says, yeah, we agree that rape is bad, but where this canned and mostly likely will lead in the future is a dangerous and slippery slope. Maybe. I mean, yeah, I mean, if we look at the extreme thing, it's thought police, right? That is what it sounds like. Thought policing. Where did they have that? There was this book that is all, it's always, when you're talking about thought policing, there is this book. It's 4 numbers, repeated over and over again. Down with Big Brother. That is what I say. And I like 1984 for that reason, you know, looking at thought crimes. But I can also, I can sympathize with these cancel culture people. I mean, it's difficult to talk to them in a way, like, if we antagonize them, like if you antagonize a cancel culture person, right? Someone who wants to cancel this whatever entertainment. I mean, personally, I don't really care if Pepe Le Pew is within this entertainment or not. I don't really care if Quagmire is part of any entertainment or not. It's not a big deal for me. So antagonizing them over this thing that is super fucking important emotionally for them, what they would see is someone arguing for perpetuating rape culture. That is the perspective that person would have if we antagonize this type of cancel culture person, right? And I don't see that antagonizing them being helpful either. That would only widen the split. I mean, and also, yeah, I would probably go towards, rather than talking about Pepe Le Pew, I would rather be interested in just talking about thought crime. Is that what you want? Is that really the society that you are working for? Is that where you're going? Towards thought crime? And if that is the case, and we can antagonize, well, I mean, debate, I mean, there probably won't be a lot of discourse if we have those different of opinions. We could discuss them and, you know, argue against that point, rather than arguing against this. Like trying to, I think that's a better idea. Abstract the question away from this and into talking about thought crime. Yeah. Because I don't know, right? I don't know if these cancel culture people, if they feel like thought crime should be considered a thing. I personally don't. I don't. And I mean, even if you do feel like thought crime should be a thing, how? Just how? What steps would you need to make to actually do any sort of thing based on thought crime? And then we're back to 1984. Social credit scores and being constantly under a camera, constantly under the eye of Big Brother. And then it becomes another question we could ask a person that thinks that thought crime should be a thing. So what happens when you put this system in place of thought crimes and you have all the people under the watchful eye of Big Brother, if you're fine with that? What happens when your political opponents end up in power? Wait, I'm assuming that you like democracy or whatever. But just what happens when? Because it will happen, right? Your opponents will be on the power of this, and they redefine what thoughts should be crimes and not. Are you then happy with this structure? Are you still happy with the structure that you have built if you are not allowed to decide what is a thought crime and what is not? And I'm guessing you could find a type of discussional path away from this cancel culture kind of thing. What do you think? Would that work out? Maybe hold that thought. Like if you have something specific you want to say in that question, then say it now, because it's lunchtime soon. Alright, and we just started Act 2. Oh, I've got to finish these. Here we go. Doctor says, don't disturb them. They might not wake easily, but they need the concentration. Gotta see how the next act starts. Oh, we go back here and we talk to him about what we've learned. Oh, right, so now we start. We have traveled all the way back here and we've hit a wall. So now we're gonna jump back and forth and learn more about him. Nice. I did feel that. Oh fuck, I missed verbalizing my thoughts again. I'm trying to be better at it, but I felt like we were moving really fast through here. There was like a lot of stuff that I missed out on, but now we're gonna jump around. Jump around. And I like that. I do like that. And that is all this old fool knows. Sorry I can't be of more help, says John. Then that'll have to be enough. Aye. All that's left to do is linking your registered desire to go to the moon into your early memories. Then we'll pull the switch and voila! You'll be on the moon in no time. I have a question. If you could make Lily disappear, that means you can alter this world. Wait. Then, can you not simply make things happen and fulfill my wish here and now? Right? That would work if this were your one true set of memories. What do you mean? What is this then? What am I? This is just a copy. A canvas for us to work with, if you will. Alright. As for you, you are merely an algorithm traced from Johnny. Enough to reflect his likeness, but far from complete. All we can do is to prepare this canvas in a logically consistent way. And then, when we transfer your registered desire to your childhood, the machine will generate your new life. One where the desire dictates your behavior. The result of that would then be written to the real John, and they are replacing. So you see, even if they don't add on, they are replacing onto John. So you see, even if we satisfy you, you are merely a read-only program. I mean, we could reset you over and over and over again, and that's enough. Oh, don't be so sensitive, he's not real, you know. If you truly believe that, then why did you even care to explain? Nice. I'm just trying to save time. Let's go. Nice. Nice. Doctor? Is that what I truly am? And he just leaves. And the memory disappears. I mean, it is what you are, but it's not that. Ah, all of our night's work. Yeah, all the memory bits that we picked up. This would be a great machine for thought crimers. We just go in and change the way they think about life. Oh man. Oof. Oh. What the? At least give me a warning first. What can I say? What can I say? I like being a head. Ooh, I'm a head as well. Floating head. I'd ask if that's a pun, but I'm afraid you'd say yes. Let's do this fast. I feel silly enough in this form as it is. All we need to do is to pass his desire from the latest memory to the earliest. Oh, but it's not gonna work though, is it? Oh fuck, I could have saved and left for lunch there. Line up 2 matching memories on the edges to transfer the registered desire. Alright, so we line up. Wait, I need to line up 2. How do I switch it around? Alright, we'll learn about that tomorrow. Yeah. Post hoc, emotional reactionary feelings. I mean, Space Jam 2 is... They canceled this because this is in some sort of public eye right now, and it becomes popular right now, so therefore they talk about this. And I can see that, rather than talking about some old, dusty Family Guy cartoon that nobody watches anymore. Am I right? Am I right? No, I have no idea. But it's not in the public discussion, it's just in the periphery, right? I suppose we could make some false news on Twitters and make it to be in the public eye, and then they would be wanting to cancel Quagmire as well. Perhaps, perhaps not. Blasphemous, that's a good idea for a movie. Trying to cancel Quagmire? Wait, what's a good idea for a movie? I'm curious now. There are many good ideas for movies, I suppose. I don't think I have them very often, so I'm curious. Oh, I can actually now, since I'm waiting for Blasphemous to... Oh, wait here. Traveling through time to cancel things before they happened? Wait, isn't that like many movies done through that? Oh, there was this cool movie. What's it called? Oh, fuck, I saw this time travel movie. It's kind of cool. Time travel movies. Does that work? Probably not. Fuck, whatever. It's not. It was not about canceling things, though. Yes, but specifically related to cancel culture. Oh, right. Oh, canceling entertainment. Ooh, that is an interesting thought experiment. Good movie, yeah. What happened if... Fuck, it would have to be a dystopian movie, wouldn't it? So who... It would be difficult, though, because... Oh, it would be in the middle... No, it wouldn't. It would be like, oh, it would be a difficult movie to make, right? But it would be like some sort of moving back in time. Like that would be like one aspect. Maybe a TV series rather than a movie, because it would take quite a long time to show the whole specter of the thought experiment. Like you would have some characters that a little like the 12 Monkeys kind of deal, right? Moving back in time. I don't know, if you want to make it an action series or whatever, you can start killing people or whatever to cancel things before they happened, you know, or different. I mean, it could be a more Doctor Whovian, I suppose, where you go back and you change history for this reason or that reason, right? That would be one aspect of it. And the other aspect would be, you know, just people living and how the now, from that point of view, how the future would change with. Yeah, that is why we would want like a TV series, because the changes would be subtle, right? Just removing one piece of media. But you could have like the subtle change, and then you could have like the comparison, like from the start of the series and to the end of the series, how the world had changed by just removing stuff that you didn't want to see. But I mean, that's so much speculation. So it would be super fucking hard to write that dystopian future, what it would look like. Like if we go from our present and change our present based on, I mean, it could change any other way, right? It's super fucking difficult to put my mind into that. Oh, nice Colgating on tap. I saw also a good time traveling movie, but I can't recommend it because time traveling, but it being a time traveling movie is a huge fucking spoiler. All right, so put a note on that, Colgating on tap, and like the next time we recommend movies and TV series and stuff like that, put it in. Actually, maybe that is a little bit spoiler, the one that I'm thinking about as well. No, I don't know. Netflix would pay good money for it. Not as a dystopian. Oh, actually, that saddened me. Did you see the Brave New World, the new series? That saddened me. Like, one reason I really like Brave New World, I read it in English, right? One thing that I really liked about it is that my reading, my interpretation is, well, this is a utopian movie, utopian story. People are not suffering. They are taking care about everybody in here. It's a utopian world, but it's a utopian world that, well, first of all, it wouldn't work, but that's a side difference. But it's not. It's a utopian world that I, with my personality as I have been raised, would not want to live in. And I find that super fucking interesting. But the new show, they just made it into a dystopia. And I mean, it was a pretty good show, but the unique thing about Brave New World was that it was a utopia that I don't want to live it. And that's kind of unique. I've never read anything like it. So I find it's kind of sad that they made those changes. Blasphemous quit it after watching the first episode. Yeah, I can see that. It wasn't mind-blowingly good, right? It was just me. I was curious because I kind of liked the book. So I wanted to see it. And I was a bit sad. And it was okay for entertainment value, I suppose. But yeah, it was fine. Colgatinotab says Burjosian dystopian is proletarian utopia. Oh man. Holy crap, that is a movie I would want to see. Right? A movie where they built, like they did the world building in such a way that depending on who the watcher was, like the main person was the main person that we're following around is either the bad guy or the good guy, and the world is just depending on what politics you have. That the world is a fully functioning, good working world, and the main character is trying to change that world and is either the good guy or the bad guy, depending on who watches the movie. That would be super fucking difficult to write, but that's Blasphemous says the BBC's Brave New World movie from the 1980s was cheesy but good. Oh, I have not seen that yet. Maybe I should have a view on that. I suppose. Maybe. But alright, it is lunchtime, and it has been a blast as usual. It's on YouTube. Nice. Super easy to watch it then. Yeah, but it's been a blast today. Interesting discussions, good gameplay, interesting stuff happening in To the World. Act 2 makes me excited. Alright, cheers for hanging out, and see you next time.